I never thought a single sentence could shatter someone's entire world, but hers did. "I wish I could wake up from this nightmare," she said, her voice trembling as she looked at me, eyes glossy with tears. I remember the way the light caught the pain in her face, how it twisted my stomach into knots I didn't think were possible. "My name is Alex. For 6 years I believed love was supposed to be simple, even if life wasn't. I met Clara during my last year of college. She was magnetic, the kind of person whose laugh fills a room and lingers in your chest long after she's gone. We moved in together shortly after graduation, thinking we were invincible. At least that's what I thought. Life was life. Work, bills, routines. But we made time for each other. Small gestures, coffee before work, weekend drives to nowhere. She always said those moments mattered more than anything else. And I believed her. But then she started changing. Subtle things at first. A text she hid when I walked in. Laughing a little too long at messages on her phone. Canceling plans we'd made without explanation. I tried not to notice, tried to rationalize it. Maybe she was stressed. Maybe I was overthinking. One night, after a particularly tense dinner, she looked at me and said it, the nightmare line. "I can't do this anymore," she whispered. "I feel like I'm trapped in a life I can't escape. Alex, I wish I could wake up from this nightmare." I felt my heart stop. "Clara, what are you saying?" I asked, trying to keep my voice steady. She shook her head, tears streaming freely now. I don't know if I can stay. I love you, but it feels like everything we have is falling apart." I wanted to scream, to beg her not to leave, but something in me froze. Instead, I nodded. I gave her the space she didn't even realize she needed. That night, she went to a friend's house, supposedly just to clear her mind. I stayed home, pacing, replaying every word she'd said. Something felt off, like pieces of a puzzle I didn't want to see were slowly revealing themselves. A few days later, I noticed her behavior shift again. Her phone stayed tucked close, her messages grew secretive. I tried to ignore it, tried to trust her. But trust isn't a shield, it's a delicate glass, and mine was cracking. Then I found the email. It wasn't meant for me, or at least I think it wasn't. The subject line was innocuous, but the body. It was her, planning something I didn't understand. Meeting someone. Smiling in ways she hadn't with me for months. My chest tightened with a mix of dread and disbelief. I couldn't just sit there anymore. I needed to know. I tracked her, not in a creepy way, at least not to me. I just needed to see for myself. I parked a block away from the cafe she'd mentioned to her friend, hiding in the shadows. And there she was. Sitting across from a man I didn't know, laughing, leaning forward, sharing something intimate. Something that wasn't meant for me. It felt like someone had shoved a knife into my heart and twisted it. I didn't go in immediately. I wanted her to feel safe, to know that I had seen everything, but not like a scene out of a movie. I wanted her to understand the weight of her actions. When I finally approached, her eyes widened. "Alex, what are you doing here?" I held the moment, letting it hang. "I think you know why I'm here. That's why you said it was a nightmare, isn't it? Because living this lie, with him, must feel like a dream you want to wake up from." She stuttered, trying to speak, but no words came out. "I gave you space, Clara. I respected you. I let you breathe. And this," I gestured toward the cafe table, "this is what I find." The man tried to speak, but I silenced him with a look. "Don't bother. You're not the story here." Clara's face crumpled. She was beautiful, heartbroken, guilty, but that didn't undo the betrayal. I took a deep breath, letting my anger and heartbreak mingle into clarity. I reached into my bag, pulling out her phone, which she had left on the table. "You said you wanted to wake up from this nightmare," I said, voice low. "Consider this the alarm clock." I deleted all her messages, blocked the man, changed passwords, and set boundaries that she couldn't cross. It was quiet, controlled revenge. Not physical, not dramatic, just undeniable. The life she had hidden in plain sight was gone. She had wished to wake up, and I made sure she did. From the dream she had built, and from the lies she had told. She collapsed into tears, realizing the reality of her choices. I left the cafe then, feeling hollow but strangely relieved. The nightmare she wanted to escape was real, but it wasn't mine anymore. Weeks later, I rebuilt my life piece by piece. I learned to trust myself again, to recognize that love is powerful, but self-respect is stronger. Clara eventually moved on, I suppose. I didn't watch, didn't care. The lesson was mine, and it was enough. Sometimes the right move isn't the obvious one. Sometimes the right move is the quiet one, the one that teaches the lesson without theatrics. And sometimes, making someone wake up from a nightmare they've created is the only way to let yourself sleep peacefully again. Because in the end, waking up doesn't just mean escaping, it means seeing clearly. And that clarity, even when born of heartbreak, is worth more than any dream.